So that's the funding side. The bigger question is dilution. What the founders are left with after these rounds are over. Large dilution in founder equity and funds controlling the majority stake and decision making is not ideal. This happens in India because of three reasons. India India's venture scene is still nascent. Most VCs are very risk averse and they want as much control as possible early on. Also, Indian startups have very low valuation as compared to their counterparts of US or Europe, which obviously leads to less capital for the same amount of equity. And third, deep tech startups like space or defense, especially those, are very capex heavy. They need money for research and development, they need so much money for prototyping and crazy amount of expenditure for scaling the capabilities. So it makes sense that they'll have to give up equity to raise funds. But the problem is losing control. If one or two funds want to control majority stake and also majority control, that will make founders lose motivation or any incentive to stay. And nobody wants a manager operator in early stage startups. That's going to be basically a death of that startup. In other words, the health of India's deep tech startup ecosystem is not going to be judged by how much money they've raised, but by who's actually in control of these companies. Because if founders leave, they're dead basically. There is no way VC controlled startups, especially early stage startups, can survive.